Hi. I was talking with my family and I figured I might as well come say it to somebody who actually is interested. So, thanks for being here and for me to go on this little rant with you. So my work is with codependence, but my primary internal work is the bridging the gap between narcissism and codependency, because in my lineage, the program that I was brought into, set aside like my DNA and things like that, the overt program that I was born into was my maternal side. And they divided, like I didn't have any relationship whatsoever with my paternal side, which was actually the healthier side. So, my grandmother was the only person in my life who was kind to me while I was a kid, and throughout my life, really. She was the only person in my family who was soft. And I modeled after her because I wanted to be for everybody who she was for me. But, you know, in narcissistic families, you're kind of sheltered even if you're out in the world. So her model of kindness retrospectively was not integrated. It was codependent. So I modeled after her kindness, thinking that that's what would make me a good person. That's what made her a good person for me. I loved being able to just, be myself around her. And then the polar of this is she's also a woman who allowed an abusive piece of shit to abuse her, sleep with her siblings, abuse her children, and I'm just going to stop it there for the sake of this video, but in very sadistic ways. This man's truly sociopathic, and she's truly codependent. And being raised by a child, a product of that dynamic, presented for me as having a mother who presented with borderline leaning narcissism, or vice versa, right? What I want to talk about with this is that I've worked with people, and I don't want to genderify this, but it's primarily situations in which fathers are overtly or covertly manipulative and or abusive, and will use their children as pawns in that abuse. And the mothers, because they are under the realm of this father, will allow for that behavior, thinking either it's normal or that their best defense is not speaking up. They'll just justify it in their head somehow and make it more convenient for them not to do something. So I've seen this when I was in middle school, my middle school best friend, and retrospectively now I understand why I was attracted to the people I was attracted to. This girl's father was a clearly narcissistic person, and she was in middle school. She would have normal middle school issues, and he would throw her in a psychiatric unit. And she'd be like, why am I here? What is happening? Like, I'm just having a human experience. I'm having a human reaction, and I'm now being shot up and medicated, and I'm 13 years old, right? And he would do that whenever she would have an emotion that didn't fit his bill. When it was inconvenient for her to be around, he would find a different place for her. And I've worked with people whose, it's very similar to my grandmother's situation, in which instead of just recognizing my husband has issues he needs to deal with, and this can be both genders, but in this case it's also, this is what it is. These are the stories I'm speaking because this is what I see. They'll send their daughters away. And it can be something like, oh, my husband is sexually attracted to my daughter, so let me send her away. Instead of addressing that your daughter's not bad for what's going on, right? And she might not be the one that needs to be sent away. And you can justify it all you want, that it's for your own safety, it's for her safety. And in a really down and out culture, depending on where you are, I could see that being true. But when you are so brainwashed by a narcissist, then I understand that when you are in a lot of pain, when we're in a lot of pain, we become narcissistic because we cannot see anything outside of this, right? But when you are a codependent and you let yourself get sucked down the rabbit hole of that amount of narcissism, and it becomes normal to you, even if you're a codependent, you become a narcissist. You become an accomplice to that program. And you can say, I'm the victim, right? And that might be true. But you're not the only casualty in your victimhood. And if you're a woman who's sitting around saying that I'm a victim here, watching my kids be victims, and you're not stepping into your inner warrior, which is the complete opposite of, I would sit here and allow for this because it's convenient for me to do so. Just like a freaking, like that. I used to think my grandmother's kindness made her a good person, and now I recognize that it was actually psychotic. Her kindness was not goodness. It was psychotic. No woman, this is also coming from, I watched a documentary called, The Price of Honor, about the same dynamic. A clearly narcissistic father from a different culture, clearly codependent mother who becomes an accomplice in basically the murder of her children. And she's still acting like she doesn't know. She's still a victim somehow. Her children weren't victims. He would never hurt them. They're dead. And this woman psychotically still believes that this man who was a sociopath and killed his own children wouldn't hurt them. That's insane. That's not facing reality, right? And I understand mental programming. I get how deeply rooted it is and how hard it is to get out of. And if you're a woman walking around feeling like you're a victim because your children are victimized by somebody that you allow in their lives, you have to be more than a victim. You have to be willing to literally die for the thing that you created that you should live for, right? This isn't living. Whatever you're going through right now, if you're in this situation, is not living. It would be safer for everybody to actually face reality and get into a healthy environment that's not this. So if you are walking around a parent and you're a codependent, trapped in that situation, I see you. There is no shame that you're there. And I also know that there is something in your guts that's still alive in you that can get you out of there. Because you're not the only casualty. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Your codependent program should not override your animalistic instincts to protect your children. That is insanity, not kindness. Didn't know I was going to be crying. So for all of the children out there who are casualties in this dynamic, who have a parent that says they'll protect you but doesn't, says that they love you but you have to follow this abuse, I see you. You're not alone, which is a sad reality. You're actually not alone. And you are loved. And if you are out, congratulations. If you're even out to be watching this, congratulations. And for all the mothers, my God, your kindness, your acceptance, your belief in somebody else that is somebody you really shouldn't believe, that's just a disorder. That's a disorder. It's not kindness. It's disordered. Please know that. So your children can grow up with some sense of order that is not this flip-flop of absolute insanity where one person's literally the devil, one person's an angel, and there's no black and white for humanity. There's no like gray area for humanity. Normal people with normal human programs live in a human program, not this devil, angel, black and white, psychotic modeling that's like one or the other, right? So I believe in your ability to get out more than I believe in their ability to make you afraid to do that thing. They're going to do that. They're going to make you afraid. They're going to threaten you. It's going to get worse before it gets better. That's inevitable. That's what you don't want to face, right? And that sucks. That phase is terrible and necessary. Not only for your kids, but for you. Okay. I hope this was helpful in some way. Bye.